time being spent.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to discuss a man that I believe is one of the most disrespected legends, former champions, fighters in UFC history, and that is Jan Blachowicz. Why? Why does the UFC they refuse to give this man the respect that he deserves? He's a former champion. He has shown up for them time after time again. But for years, and it really started with the Israel Adesanya fight, which we're going to get to right now, they've been disrespecting him, whether it's the commentary, whether it's bad decisions. I'm sick of it. Let's get right into it. To me, it all goes back to the fight with Israel Adesanya. Now, this was his first title defense. He just beat Dominic Reyes for the vacated light heavyweight belt. He then went on to face Israel Adesanya, where Adesanya obviously was the middleweight champion. He was moving up. It was a big fight, really big fight, especially in the pandemic where there was not really much going on. But the commentary, we'll start with the commentary because that was really the most biased thing here. What the fuck? I mean, round one, Israel Adesanya is literally doing nothing in the clip. This is the first round of the fight, by the way. And Joe Rogan is he's just yapping about bullshit. You know, Israel Adesanya, he's playing Israel Adesanya's kickboxing game and all that bullshit, right? And then the UFC used the clip of Israel Adesanya and Jan Blachowicz. They used the clip of Joe Rogan where he's saying all this about Izzy. They flipped it to make it seem like Joe was talking about Blachowicz. That's how bad his commentary was.
No mistake about it. He can still take any man out with one shot. But it becomes less likely the more he buys into Izzy's game. And right now he's fighting the perfect fight for Stylebender. Stylebender's perfect fight. Fighting on the outside and making it a technical kickboxing match. And right now he's fighting the perfect fight. Fighting on the outside and making it a technical kickboxing match. I would like to fight.
And that was only the first round. Then you have round two where Joe Rogan was talking about, dude, Israel Adesanya, he's out striking Jan Blachowicz right now. He's really playing his game and he's losing right now. Meanwhile, the stats literally popped up at the corner of the screen and it was completely disproving whatever Joe was saying because Izzy was not winning that round. Blachowicz was winning the round. He was winning the fight. He was winning the kickboxing exchanges. He was out kickboxing the world-famous kickboxer Israel Adesanya.
Well, he's fallen into the trap that a lot of guys do with Izzy, where they get into a technical kickboxing match with a guy who's one of the most elite strikers in the world.
But I mean, Jan Blachowicz is doing well. I'm not saying he's getting completely, outstruck, but he just keeps biting on these feints and fakes.
But he is getting outstruck, and this is not the best opportunity for him to win.
Joe goes, but he is getting outstruck. But he is.
And then round three, he claims Blachowicz is hurt. Oh, he's hurt. He's stung. Blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, Blachowicz looks perfectly fine. He's just he got hit with a shot. He's still standing there perfectly fine, still throwing back. What the fuck?
Yeah, by Blachowicz.
Oh. Stylebender caught him.
Yep, he caught him.
He stung him hard
not
there.
like that. Nope.
No, he stung him hard there. Yeah, I think Jan is in a little bit of trouble. I think he got really hurt there.
So Joe Rogan and DC as well, and this is why I say DC is at times just as bad as Joe. It's usually when they're together, that they're both, it's like, when some people compliment each other, they bring each other down as commentators. They're both shit together. And that whole fight was just biased Joe Rogan commentary, just biased, making it seem like Blachowicz was losing when he wasn't. He was outstriking Israel Adesanya, but Joe Rogan, he has some sort of fetish for, I don't know, I don't want to get into all of it, but let's just say he likes chocolate men. So anyways,
I'm pushing all my chips on black.
Blachowicz then goes on to lose, unfortunately, to Glover Teixeira, as you can see, but then he beats Rakic, so he kind of bounced back. Now we get to the Ankalaev fight. Now this is where we start the string of bad decisions. Magomed Ankalaev, Jan Blachowicz. This was ruled a draw. Now the decision itself is it was what it was. It's a typical Ankalaev close fight. The decision itself it could have went either way. I think you could have given it to Ankalaev. I think you could have given it to Blachowicz. I think a draw is not bad, honestly. It's a 50-50 fight. It was 50-50. Neither guy was... There were rounds where both guys were just doing the same amount of output. It's one of those where a draw is not that bad. But Joe Rogan seemingly disagrees with me. So he interviews Jan Blachowicz first, after the decision is read. And he's basically trying to bait him into saying that he lost the fight. He's like He does it like 3 times, or at least twice. He's trying to bait Jan Blachowicz into admitting that he lost.
You went to raise Ankalaev's hand after the fight. Is that because you believe that he should have won the decision?
I have to watch the fight, but for sure I don't want the fight. I don't know that I lose the fight, but for sure I'm not the winner. I don't have to watch, my head is,
Well, I know, but you are a very honorable man. The way you did that, to me, that felt like you felt you lost that decision.
What?
If you saw the fight, I don't know, I'm a fighter, sorry, my head is, I don't feel that I'm a winner, but I need to watch the fight. Maybe we can do it, the rematch, and that's it.
Now, mind you, Blachowicz, and he literally says it in the clip, is like literally like concussed and is like CT ridden right now at the time of that. And Joe Rogan is just, he's peppering him, he's pestering him with these dumbass questions. And poor Blachowicz, who barely speaks English and has fucking a concussion probably, is trying to like figure out what's going on. He doesn't even know. Rogan is just pestering him with dumbass questions. Now the second clip, he's interviewing Ankalaev, and he's interviewing him, and then Jan Blachowicz just walks in and says, I think he deserves belt. I think he deserves belt, or whatever the fuck. Now, that's fine, right? Yeah, very humidable, or whatever the word is. Very humble, let's just say, from Jan Blachowicz. The problem is, Joe Rogan then says, oh, you think he should have won the belt? Yeah, I agree, sir. Yeah, I agree. So Joe Rogan, this unbiased commentator, this unbiased interviewer at the moment of what he was doing, he was interviewing. He's supposed to be unbiased. He absolutely attacks Blachowicz, basically, in the first interview. And then in the second one, when he's interviewing Ankalaev, he fucking says, yeah, I agree. You didn't win. I agree. What a piece of shit.
You give the belt to Ankalaev,
You think he should get the belt? I agree. Yeah, but look, Jan Blachowicz is an honorable man, ladies and gentlemen. How about a round of applause for Jan Blachowicz?
Mind you, this card had Paddy Pimblett versus Jared Gordon on it. He was not pestering Paddy Pimblett about that shitty decision. Oh, but Ankalaev and Blachowicz, we gotta... this just shows that the disrespect has gone on for a very long time, dating all the way back to 2021. So now let's move on to these 3 decisions. So we already kind of spoke about the Ankalaev one. Again, this one was probably out of the 3 the most fair. It was pretty close. You could give it to Ank, you could give it to Blachowicz. I think there's more of a case for Blachowicz than Ankalaev. That's my opinion, but I think a draw is not bad. Even though Joe Rogan, I guess, disagrees with me. Fuck that bald fuck. Moving on to Blachowicz Pereira, though. This one was just... I mean, at the time, I thought Pereira won. Looking back now, I think Blachowicz could have got it, I really do. Honestly, I really do. Now, obviously, they weren't going to give it to him because he's... At the time of this fight, he was about 40 or 41 years old. Pereira's the up-and-coming star and yada, yada, yada. But they didn't give it to Blachowicz. He did really good in this fight. In fact, this was, other than the Adesanya fights against Pereira, this was Pereira's hardest test. And Pereira just barely made it out. Again, this was a 40-something-year-old Jan Blachowicz at altitude, and he gave Pereira this level of a fight. Great, like, amazing, incredible. But they gave it to Pereira because, again, I mean, one judge gave it to Blachowicz, I guess. That's cool. One judge gave it to him, but 2 out of the 3 judges did not agree with that one judge. Again, is it a close fight? Yeah, of course. Could you give it to Blachowicz? Absolutely. So, but this fight, Blachowicz-Oldberg, I think is the worst decision. Low-key, might be the biggest robbery of the year. Maybe I'm over-exaggerating, but look, I want to preface. I know that Blachowicz didn't have the best performance, even though he's 42 years old, but I know he didn't have the best performance. Oldberg, his performance I thought was even worse because he's the younger guy, he's the faster guy, he's the one that he needs a big statement win if he wants the next title shot. He did not have that here. In fact, it was the opposite. I mean, this guy's... Just look at this guy. Just look at Carlos Oldberg. Look at, he looks like a stretched out frog. His face is just... compared to the Chad Jan Blachowicz. But anyways, looks aside... Jan Blachowicz absolutely should have got this decision. I'm sorry. Why didn't they give it to him? They keep robbing this guy, and this was the 3rd strike. Again, Ankalaev fight was close. The Pereira fight was close. This fight was, I guess, close, but I don't think Oberg did anything, really. I really don't think he did enough. I'm sorry, I don't think he did enough to get this decision. You could say, well, neither did Jan Blachowicz, but I think Jan Blachowicz's leg kicks and strikes looked a lot harder and better than Oberg's. I mean, Oberg's little tappy leg kicks, though. He threw more leg kicks compared to Blachowicz's hard, Chad leg kicks. Oberg just threw little pity-patty leg kicks, and it got him the win. It got him the decision. What are we doing here? What is this sport becoming? What is this?
Brother.
They gave this to Oberg, and I just... This is what prompted me to make this video. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the disrespect towards Jan Blachowicz. It's just what now he's probably gonna retire. If not, maybe he could get another good name, but it's just he's been disrespected going back to 2021, going back to the Israel Adesanya fight. And now we're here in 2025. He's 42, he's still kicking it, and they're still disrespecting him. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think he's one of the most disrespected legends, former champions, fighters in the history of this sport? I think he is, man. I think he's absolutely been disrespected for too long, and I'm sick of it. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and sub. Become a member in the description. Peace.
I showed the legendary Polish power, and I'm proud of that.